Hello. Oh my goodness, I'm still sharing the screen. Sorry about that. I am Charlene Tessier, and I'm here to help you with your LinkedIn and live streaming. This is part of 30 tips for 30 days. And my camera, somebody has been touching my stuff because usually I just come in here and everything's all ready and things are crazy. Of course, today, I don't know why. And I wasn't even going to get on my live stream today, but I had to do it. I didn't do it yesterday, and I'm trying to keep it up. I'm probably going to ramp down now. This is the end of the 30 days. I actually have a few more days, I guess I owe you guys, but I do a lot, so it's okay. I'm actually going live on Thursday as well as part of my show. But what I'm working on today, or what we're working on together today, is your LinkedIn taglines. And I talk a lot about that. And we are going to do a review because someone has asked me for one. So let's get started and let's Hello, I am Charlene Tessier, founder of Strength in Numbers. I help you find your ideal clients online using LinkedIn and live streaming so that you can get your programs, workshops, events filled. And today we are going to do a tagline review. I did one actually a few weeks ago for Dr. Nancy Czar. And when I did, I put a shout out that if anybody else wanted one, to let me know in the comments. And it was Rhonda who responded saying she would love a review as well. And so if you want me to review your LinkedIn tagline, I will do it in a very gentle way, of course, but it will be done live. Put your name in the comments. Just let me know, hey, I want it, and I will get it into my show as well. I actually really love doing them, and it's great to see other people's because everybody approaches things very differently, and having different businesses just gives us a kind of more sampling and a showcase. And it's also why I didn't want to do mine, because it's not that I'm biased, it's just that when I'm looking at mine, I am updating mine all the time. Pretty much quarterly. I'm just like honing it, and it takes time to really get that crafted really, really well. And you kind of have to test it out for a little while. You'll kind of notice if people really respond to it. They will message you more, they'll find you more, you'll see your views go up. That's one of the ways you know. But if it's not really, resonating with them, or people don't understand it, then you'll notice those views kind of go down, and you will kind of notice that there isn't as much uptake to it. So that tagline is very organic, and it takes some time to prepare. And it's such a short piece of text. You would think like, hey, how hard can it be? But actually, the shorter it is, the more precise and succinct you have to be, the more clear you have to be, the harder it really is, I find. So today we're going to look at Rhonda's. And if you want yours to be reviewed, like I said, drop your name in the comments below and I'll be so happy to review it. So now let's do the screen share. I had it set up in advance so that it would be working correctly. Let's see if you can even see that. You might have a hard time to see it. So it's a little bit too small as well, but I will read her tagline, and the tagline happens to fall below her picture, just below her name. There's a little sentence there. That is what I'm calling the tagline. There's probably other names for it, but in this particular instance, I'm just going to call it tagline. And it says, providing women entrepreneurs providing women entrepreneurs developmental training, networking in a community to support one another. So right away, when I read it out loud, I tripped over the developmental training. And that means many other people will trip over that right away when they're reading it. It's very clear who you are providing support to. It's women entrepreneurs, but that's still a really big category. You may want to even try to niche that down into a specific industry a little bit more. You may notice those that are in your community or are all in health and wellness space, or maybe they're all, I don't know, service providers like accountants in the financial space, or in, I don't know, whatever kind of retail space. Maybe they're in Etsy store, online Etsy store, something like that. So that's a much more specific. Women entrepreneurs are quite general, or maybe it's geographical for you. I'm not really sure, Rhonda. So those are a few things that you can do to clarify who you're supporting, besides it being just women entrepreneurs. Now, the developmental training, you probably want to change that wording. It's a little bit hard to get to say essentially, and to understand like what kind of development training. Oh, it's a really tough one. Um, Being more specific as to the type of training would help. And then you also have networking and a community. So I'm not completely sure about your offering. It's very broad spanning for me. So it seems like you're a connector of sorts, and you possibly have your own community for women entrepreneurs to support them in some way, but I'm not sure how exactly. So, more specificity about maybe the training you provide or the benefit of being in the networking group. I don't think you really need to mention the community part because it's somewhat implied, and because we don't have enough characters really. So, you can, and depending on what your offering is, you may want to pick one or the other or test it and do maybe only more specificity around the training that you provide in the tagline, and then the next month try it around the networking. I'm not sure if the networking is free or paid as well. So when I come here, and that's what happens when people discover your content and they land on your page, the first thing they're going to do is read that tagline really quickly. And it doesn't really speak to me as to the benefit I can get with your service offering. And I'm actually not too sure what your service offering is. It's a little bit muddled. So let me just scroll down a little bit and see if I can pick up a bit more on it. So it's a membership based community. Um, but you also talk about networking. So I would choose again one word or the other. Um, don't muddle the two. Networking is what you get out of it, but that's still not really a benefit. I can go to tons of free networking events. There's not really that's stopping me, and I don't get much benefit from going to them. So, what's the benefit of going to your membership based community? And maybe or speak about the training. The other thing you have above, which people look at very quickly, we'll go back to this profile here, is a very top header is also what people kind of catches their eye and looks at very quickly. And I try not to have too many words because it's already very word heavy. If you look just down below her image, right, you have the tagline and then you have a bunch of hashtags. And so, they're really scanning very quickly. And in that, when they come to your page, they're looking at that above the fold, and they're just going to spend 5 to 10 seconds there, right? And in that 5 to 10 seconds, that's your first impression. And they're going to make a split second decision about you. They're going to do a few things. They're either just going to leave and go back to what they were doing, just hit home and then start scrolling on their feed again. But if they're interesting enough, and they think, hey, you're interesting, they will either click follow you if you have it set up. You right now you don't have it set up in creator mode. That's why the follow you is not here. It's actually message you, which is still okay. But I like to have more people following me. Because of the way you have it set up right now, they'd have to go more and then follow. If you change it to creator mode on your side, you'll have the follow button first, and then they can just hit that. It's really easy for people to just follow because they don't even feel like they have to do the connection request. And then there would be connection request would be the next, or they can direct message you right away. And it just depends on how you want the action to be. And then you have above Women Entrepreneurs Network, North Shore. So it implies again that this might be very hyperlocal and that it's only for those in that region. And so you may want to specify that a bit more if it is or if it isn't. It might be global, maybe. And then you have a quote from one of, I guess, the members. Surround yourself with trusted, loyal team. It makes all the difference. And it's not lovely to have a quote, but again, I would like to see at the header the benefit of being in this networking community. What is really the benefit? It's still pretty unclear. It's just saying that I will be surrounded with trusted and loyal people. Again, I'm not sure what am I actually getting out of this. So I hope this was very helpful for you, Rhonda, and that gives you some insights into how people sort of possibly see your profile page when they first come to LinkedIn. If you want a review, let me know in the comments below. Also, I have my free community. I'll drop that down in the link below. You can come and join, and we talk about all things LinkedIn and live streaming. And I thought I updated that spelling. Obviously, I must have and forgot to hit save. Sorry about that. I will fix that right after this call because everything just slips my mind. But join my community. It's LinkedIn and live streaming, and we talk about things that are working now because these platforms change at an extremely quick rate, pretty much quarterly. If you buy a course, to be honest, it tends to get outdated very, very quickly because things change very quickly on these platforms. And so I prefer to have a community so we can be talking about the things that are working right now rather than what worked, a year ago and probably doesn't work right now anymore because of that. But anyways, check it out, drop the link below, and I hope to see you guys again soon.